I have a vision for the future.
I love the start of this so far.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is good.
It's good. I have a vision for the future. I wanna be in a position where I can take a 3D model, drop it in an environment, and have all the quantities taken off for me. Click of a button. Yep.
That'd be amazing.
Not impossible, right? Now let's say hypothetically, I do not like the way my takeoffs are done. It's not by floor level. On my floor plate, I have 3 different zones. I want my takeoff done per floor, per zone. Make those alterations on those grid lines, set up those zones in the model. Yep. Boom. Click another button.
I mean, that would
Yep.
probably do me out of a job there.
Oh, mate. I reckon quantity surveying will not be a job in 5 years from today. Bit of a bold, contentious statement out there. All the quantity surveyors don't fucking kill
You're
me.
going to have the QSs like hunting you down.
Hunting me down.
I've got a mortgage, man.
I believe that. because the way AI is going, you know, quantity surveying is going to be push of a button from a 3D model if the design's done well.
What do you think about that resistance to change, particularly?
That's where the 5 years may become 10 years or 15 years, but that change is inevitable. It's coming.
Oh, I tend to agree with you, but yeah, I think 5 years is it's a big statement, but yeah, I think
Mate, I'm an eternal optimist. Always see the glass half full. So, okay, that's one use case of BIM, right? Imagine from that point in time, right? Now I've got a full takeoff done with quantities, right? Now let me put all the planners out of a job, including me, right? What if you could, right? Automatically now generate a task list from your BOQ, right? Which is not hard, right? Steel. You're adding a verb to a noun, right?
Yeah.
Steel is already modeled and coded in the 3D model. Now I'm turning around and saying install steel. Install being the verb, steel being the noun, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That's a task. Okay. You're performing an action.
Yeah.
That's fine. So that's pretty simple. You could predefine that whole lot. Get generative AI to predefine that whole lot for you. Hear me out. I've still got more. This is a vision, mate. It's a vision. It's a vision. Let me keep going with it. Now, what if I have standardized production rates that the industry worked to? Now I have quantities, I have production rates. Quantities divided by production rates equals duration. You have a risk factor in there? That's okay. We'll manage risk at a later point in time. All right? Now I have a full task list and I have durations. I'll keep going with it still further, right? We've been building shit since the pyramids and we're all defined by rules of gravity. Yeah? Okay? Now, if the 3D model's coded perfectly, I can now auto-link all of those because your sequence is always preset. So it's not rocket science. You've got to do your piles before you do your ground beams. You've got to do your ground beams to do your floor slab. You've got to do your floor slab to put columns. You've got to put your columns to put beams. But you've got to put the level 1 columns, level 1 beams, level 2 columns, level 2 beams. Cool?
Yep.
Conflow goes somewhere in between. You pour some concrete. Sure, whatever. Right?
Sounds simple.
Same. It's fucking... It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm calling a spade
No,
here,
I
mate.
agree with you. Yeah. You're
Okay.
selling me completely.
Right.
I'm shaking in my boots here. 5
Right.
years, you reckon?
Now, I automatically link the entire program based on base logic and rules of gravity. Not hard.
No.
Right? I've got 90% of a program. Why the fuck am I sitting down, reviewing a design, measuring the quants, taking the quantities off, creating a task list, coming up with durations? I mean, all of this just seems so hard. I'm like, there must be easier ways of doing things. But yeah,
It sounds like there is an easy way to do
there
it.
is.
All right.
I believe there is. I 110% strongly believe there is. I'm of that strong belief. Things will change.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you. I'm always reluctant to say that change will happen quickly. I just feel like there's just that resistance to something different. Particularly when it's going to do some people out of jobs, you're definitely going to have resistance. But
Okay, so let me recorrect.
at some
that
point,
statement.
costs will dictate it
It's
as well.
not gonna eliminate their jobs. I think their jobs will evolve to be something different
You offer something different.
that we don't know. I don't know how to define what those roles will be. If you ask me if I'm going to be a planner in 5 years, I believe not. What I'm doing today is not what I'll be doing in 5 years. 5 years ago, if you asked me, you know, you'd have a website that's going to write your emails for you by just basic input. I'd sit down there and laugh at you.
It's actually pretty far-fetched when you say it like that.
Well, that's the truth, though. ChatGPT, basic input. All right, real life example, right? My wife is stressing. She's completely stressing about this email that she had to send a movie theater because she bought a Lux ticket in St. Luke's, and the seats were broken, and she had a horrible experience. She paid for the Lux experience, came back, and she's bitching and moaning about it. And I was like, cut it out, positive energy, right? All right. She's like, I've got to write this whole email and tell them. I'm like, that's easy. Come sit down. Let me show you. Right? Told her to explain her problem briefly on ChatGPT. Next minute, she had an email, copy pasted that email, send it to Event Cinema. Boom. We've got 3 free tickets for Lux now.
It's a win is a win, eh?
Mate, it's mental. But 5 years ago, could you do that?
No, yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird when you couldn't. I would have honestly thought that was made up if someone said to me 5 years, this is on the cards. And I probably would have said the same thing. I'd say to you, oh, Andy, I don't think 5 years, maybe 20 years. But now it's here and, refining and, chatting to different people, and they give you ideas for how they've used it to kind of simplify something or speed up some menial task. And you're like, oh yeah, I could either do that or adapt it to do something that I wanted to do. And yeah, I wouldn't have seen that coming as quickly as that. 5 years ago, it's not that long ago.
It's not. Yeah. But anyways, that's why, hence I started that conversation with, I have a vision. Well, it's a true vision. It's a true vision.
It is. It's a very impactful one and convincing.
Convincing.
I believe in you.
Oh, mate. Oh, I'm just a good salesman. I sell ice to an Eskimo and dirt to a ditch cleaner. What do you reckon?
I reckon the world will always need salesmen like you. Right? I'm buying in.
Oh, you're buying it. I love that. Now, all right. So anyways, we'll just wrap that up.
Yep.
Sorry, we started talking about relationships and then we drifted a bit towards AI and a bit of a vision. But looping back, building good relationships is important, and I tend to agree with you.
Yeah, definitely. You know what?
It's a hard thing to do, and if you're managing to do that, good on you, mate. Well done.
Yeah. Well, it's a satisfying thing to do because if you do it right, everybody gets on well, that positive experience, and then that end product. You've all got that feeling that we've worked together, we've got over the humps. Yes, every day is not rosy, but you try and keep the wheels moving forward, even if a few arguments here and there. And I think, most people are grown up enough to know that, we don't have to get on every day, but once we kind of just think of the bigger picture and just keep things moving,
That's it, eh? That's the one.
Yeah.
There's some sound advice from you, from Alan O'Connor.
Now
there we go.
Have to follow it.
That's it.